Hey guys, another day of chess. So we'll be watching another two matches today. The first one is where I played with black, and opponent was playing white, and they started with e4, and I gave the Sicilian a different defense. Started with the c5, and then we played the individual variations. So overall this was actually a pretty good game. Neither of us made any big errors or blunders throughout, almost not until the end, as you will see. So at this point we traded off queens, and my queen side has been quite active, but my king side has been completely passive if you look at it. And that's why, although we are equal in terms of material, the white has been given still assigned slight advantage over here. So we both castled on the king side, and more or less all of our pieces are currently open and in development stage. Probably my rook is yet to be there, but yeah, we are somewhat there. So the engine was basically recommending me to come into the open file, the rook to come into the open file at this point in time, whereas I played something else totally, because my aim was basically to corner the queen or king over here. At this point in time, engine is saying that this was the first time you will actually see the opponent making a blunder, so to say. It's like a big mistake, right? Until now, there were only few inaccuracies or some mistakes, but nothing as big as this one, supposedly. Now this, you see, is why it was said to be a blunder, because had the knight been where it was earlier, it wouldn't have been possible for me to open this file with this rook taking that pawn and opening up this file, and that will eventually lead to the checkmate situation. So let's just watch. This is a mistake which I made. This is supposed to be, so I was at this point in time I was supposed to just give in a checkmate, and now checkmate was basically unavoidable. There was no way. The king has been trapped. He cannot now go anywhere, stay on this file, and neither can the king come over here, nor can it come over, and neither the h2 or the f2. Both of them have been locked by the bishop in black. So this was a checkmate situation, but then I didn't make that move. I saw it a little late, one move late actually. So I just was wanting to open up my white bishop, but then the person eventually, the opponent didn't see this move, and I was able to make the same move again, and this is where the white resigned. As checkmate was unavoidable. Overall, this was actually a good move, a good game actually from both of us. I think if not for the final pieces. So if you actually look at this piece, this was like the crucial corner, and that's why earlier there was the rook which was guarding this entire back rank, and then you had the white bishop which was actually protecting this particular square, the c1 square, and then also you had the knight which was over here, and it which had moved over here. So there was quite protection, and it wouldn't have been possible for me to give this checkmate earlier, but because of their subsequent moves, that's why it's been called a blunder, and I was able to do that. So that is the first game which I played as black, and then the next game which I played as white. So I started off with e4, and the opponent basically tried a variation of, I think, called Caro Kann defense, if my understanding is correct, of these names. No major issues all the way till here. This you see is where the opponent finally blundered for the first time. The idea, I'm not exactly sure. It was basically a trade-off that the opponent thought of, but by doing a trade-off between a bishop and a knight, he opened this b file for my queen, and you can see significant loss of material happened over here because of that. And this is where again black resigned, because they eventually figured out that I was high up in material, and I was also able to capture, I could have captured this rook as well. So it would have almost been impossible from here. Like, imagine I would have taken up another 1 or 2 pawns over here before I could move out. So it would have been a loss for sure for the black. So they resigned at this point in time. So hope you enjoyed these 2 games. Thank you.